You know, one thing I've realized in this life is that there are some evil people out there. There are some people that truly just want to see the worst for the world and everyone that inhabits it. Some people who are just born to do nothing with their lives, but cause chaos and raise hell. We call these disgraceful breed of humans menaces. Menaces are some of the most diabolical people you will ever come in contact with in your life. Just thinking about these people strikes fear into my heart. But the scariest part is how easily they blend in. You'll truly never know what people around you are menaces. Your neighbor could be a menace, your dad could be a menace, your best friend could be a menace, hell, even you could be a menace. Now, over the past several years, there's been a rampant surge of these demonic people on the internet. It seems like every week there's a new menace that goes viral on Twitter for saying the most outlandish shit. These people need to be stopped immediately. If you notice anybody in your area display these menace-like traits, get as far away from that person as possible. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be discussing the biggest menaces on the internet. First, we got a man that I and everyone watching this video can agree needs to be serving a life sentence in solitary confinement. Punchmade Dev. Now, for those of you who don't know about Punchmade Dev, let me go ahead and tell you about this criminal. So our friend Punchmade Dev here is known as the most notorious scammer on the internet. This man is constantly bragging and talking about how he scams people left and right, and very commonly will flash and show off just how good he is at scamming on his social media. This man is such a dickhead of a human. This man went and bought himself a credit card chain just to really rub it in the face of all the victims he scammed. Now, why would someone ever brag about being a scammer and practically snitch on themselves to the FBI? I have absolutely no fucking idea. An even better question though would be, how has this man not been apprehended by the fucking authorities? He has openly stated on camera over 1,000 times that he is a fucking criminal, and yet he hasn't been arrested. If I drive 1 mile over the speed limit, they threaten to give me a life sentence. But this man admits to scamming millions of dollars from people, and he's still somehow a free man. Make it make sense. But to be honest, I think that in itself only adds to his menace power level. But what makes Punchmade Dev such a menace isn't just the fact that he openly scams people on the internet, but he also raps about it. And in these rap songs, you'll commonly hear him giving step-by-step tutorials on how to scam and different scamming methods. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this man uses his music as a way to teach people how to be criminals. And I wish that was the worst of it, but unfortunately, it's not even close. Because if you were to take a second and actually listen to this man's despicable music, you would know that this man has made some of the most demonic songs I think have ever been created. This man Punchmade Dev is a supervillain that needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. Next, we got the drunk uncle at the cookout himself, Charleston White. Now, for those of you who don't know who Charleston White is, imagine a schizophrenic old man who forgot to take his meds. You know that one crazy old guy that hangs out under the bridge, and every time you drive past him, he runs up to your car and starts yelling frantically. That is the embodiment of Charleston White as a person. If there was an award for the world's biggest hater, Charleston would win by a landslide. Charleston would be the LeBron James of the National Haters Association. Charleston White is literally a walking, living freezer. The pure hatred and anger that sits in this man's soul is unmatched. Charleston is also known for his almost psychotic rants that he constantly goes on IG, where he really just lets everyone know how he feels. Charleston White has been open about his hatred for black people, white people, Asians, the LGBTQ community, religious people. I don't think there's any demographic of people that Charleston White doesn't have a deep hatred for. If it has 2 legs and breathes oxygen, Charleston probably doesn't like it. I almost feel like the character Uncle Ruckus was specifically made after Charleston White. They're literally identical twins. He's also notorious for dissing dead rappers, most notably King Von. I remember watching this man Charleston have hour-long live streams where he does nothing but sit there and make fun of King Von. It's almost insane to me how this old man has yet to get his shit fucked up. I mean, this guy has literally made a career off of disrespecting groups of people and dead rappers. While Charleston might be hilarious and one of the most easy to meme people out there, there's no denying this man deserves to be on the round table of menaces. Next, we got the cupcake bandit himself, EDP445. Now, for those of you who don't know who this overweight sludge of fat is, EDP was a popular YouTuber who was known for being very uncensored and ranting about random topics. From making videos where he's crying about how bad the Eagles are, to making videos of him taking a shit in Chipotle. One could really say that this man EDP used to do it all. Well, he used to do everything other than go to the fucking gym. And despite him being a weird 30-year-old virgin with possibly the biggest pair of man titties that I've ever seen, EDP still managed to build a huge and decently loyal following on YouTube, only to throw it all away for a 13-year-old and a cupcake. This man really became your average Minecraft YouTuber. Pretty much this creep of a man got exposed for talking to several underage minors about things that a grown man really shouldn't be talking about with minors. At one point, even getting exposed for sending pictures of his shit to these girls. I mean, I think we can all agree that EDP was a sick individual, but this has to be one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. Now, what on earth could possess a man to send pictures of his shit to little girls? Only God himself may know. And when he got confronted about this, his only excuse was that he did it all for a cupcake, which is pretty damn ironic, seeming as we all know know this man EDP has already had one too many cupcakes in his life. So it wouldn't make any sense for you to risk your entire livelihood just for one more. So whether it's the fact this man is a fat, ugly loser, whether it's the fact that this man is a creep, or whether it's the fact he sends shit pics as a way of flirting with people, EDP445 is just an all-around loser who deserves to be put behind bars. I think we can all agree EDP445 is a menace that needs to be stopped. Next, we have a man that I believe puts YB to shame on the menace scale, the TikToker Mizzy. Now, I feel like everyone has either heard of this man, or at the least you've seen his face. He's arguably one of the worst and most menacing people on this entire list. This man Mizzy has been on an absolute tear pretty much the entirety of 2023. Now, Mizzy's what you may call a TikTok prankster, if you can call blatantly trespassing into some random dude's house a prank. Because somehow in the year 2023, breaking into people's houses is considered top tier content. This man makes Gideon's prank seem like child's play. I mean it when I tell you Mizzy's the definition of a person that couldn't care less about his freedom. Hell, it seems like this man is doing everything in his power to go to jail. Mizzy has also been known to steal people's dogs for no reason, assault random people in the street for no reason, and threaten people's lives. Again, I don't know in what world any of this can be considered a prank. Mizzy is literally just a man that runs around committing felonies and calling them a prank. Sometimes I wonder how people like him haven't been shot or at least gotten the shit beat out of them. I mean, he's literally just a douchebag that doesn't care about anybody but himself. It doesn't matter how absurd the prank is. If he thinks it could possibly get him views, he'll do it. Next, we got LowTierGod, aka probably one of the most toxic gaming streamers ever. He is the definition of the phrase no fucks given. Y'all ever been in a toxic PlayStation party with someone who is just spamming nothing but slurs and insults at you? Y'all are literally just having nothing more than a back and forth yelling match. Well, that is LowTierGod in a nutshell. You can tell this man LowTierGod is a COD lobby veteran with the way this man says some of the most outlandish shit on stream. If I had $1 for every time he told one of his viewers to self-delete themselves, I'd be a fucking millionaire. LowTierGod gives off some of the most hating ass nigga vibes I've ever seen. LowTierGod's the type of guy to come to your funeral and start throwing tomatoes at your casket. LowTierGod's the type of guy to rob a blind man walking down the street. LowTierGod's the type of guy to eat a hot dog in front of a homeless man's face. He's truly nothing more than the man that wants to spread pure hate around the world. LowTierGod has also easily become one of the most hated streamers. I can't even tell you about some of the ridiculous shit he said on stream, but if you have ever seen one of these out-of-pocket clips, it becomes very clear why so many people dislike this man. Next, we got that vegan teacher, aka the old lady that looks like she hasn't eaten in almost 2 years. Now, for those of you who don't know who that vegan teacher is, this malnourished looking old lady is basically known for being the most delusional woman on the entire internet. So pretty much that vegan teacher is a TikToker who goes around trying to force people to become vegan. She pretty much runs an entire TikTok account dedicated to telling people they should become vegan, and if you're not vegan, that somehow makes you a terrible person. I'm not even kidding with you when I say if you were to ever get caught eating meat in front of this woman, she might just try and kill your ass. Now, as delusional as this woman is, it's not simply the overwhelming amount of stupidity that makes her a menace. It's the ridiculous lengths that she'll sometimes go just to prove why you should be vegan. For one, this lady went on the spree of trying to cancel random content creators simply because they weren't vegan. Hell, this woman even went as far as to try and cancel Mr. Beast, who is literally one of the nicest content creators ever. She even had this little beef going on between her and Gordon Ramsay. This dumbass even tried to cancel McDonald's. But what really tops the cake is when the vegan teacher went and made a video using the hard R. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when someone thinks they're woke, when in reality they're just a fucking idiot. Pretty much in this video, she attempted to compare how eating animals is the same as slavery and the discrimination black people faced. If you're currently looking at the screen, confused as to how someone can be this stupid, don't worry, I am too. Now I think it's starting to become clear just how delusional and borderline brain dead the vegan teacher really is. Pretty much the vegan teacher is a lonely old lady that needs to take her meds. But with all that being said, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.